Hello everyone, we are just above the winners enclosure where we're going to hopefully find you 8 winners tonight. That is racecourse commentator Pat Comerford and I. Actually not far away from the area which serves lovely pizza, Pat, Pizza Express area just behind us. Hopefully going to devour some of those after racing, although it won't be with your choice of topping because that's frankly revolting.
I don't think I'm going to hear the end of this as well.
No.
But,
do you want to confirm it?
Yeah, it's okay, no worries. I'm proud of it too. Ham and pineapple with mushrooms, onion, and extra anchovies.
That's extraordinary. But fair enough.
Each
the
to their own.
anchovies, it jars.
Love it, love
It jars
it.
with me.
Salty and sweet.
An Australian friend of mine says there's also an Australian pizza delicacy is like a seafood pizza. Is that so?
Yeah, marinara pizza. Yep.
But like all the possible
Everything, everything. Yeah, just a giant. Yeah, just two of everything.
Yeah, it's a good job you're a nation that's good at cricket because that's something. What do you make of the car, Pat?
Look, it's probably compared to the last few weeks, it's probably not as high class as we've seen. But I mean, we've got some nice races where we've got some okay handicaps. I think this is probably at the back end of the season, sort of one of the last nights where I guess sort of those middle tier horses are probably going to get a chance to pick up some prize money and win. The races are really going to start getting more difficult and stronger as we get into the back end of the year. And I think there's some horses that have found nice races here to hopefully put their best foot forward.
But then the likes of Symbol of Honour, the likes of Arabian Night, and obviously Uzo last year's winner of that race back, where we've got some quality in there that we're going to hopefully transition and see on through to Super Saturday and World Cup night. And it's pretty competitive stuff. So there's the white flag out already because some races I think are very tricky. Notably race number 1, which is very open. So let's have a closer look at our opening contest. We've got plenty of runners in here for the Azizi Venice handicap. We don't start with the Pouped Arabian race tonight, which is something slightly out of the ordinary. That's your first page, which included No Retreat in there, who's taking on Folk Festival again. El Bosnia, I thought was an interesting runner. The connections that have done well out here, and then there's the final page with horse 17 and King's Fountain. 18 doesn't go. Okay, let's have a look at Arabic Art, finishing 5th, Honest of Desire back in 10th. This is back on the 17th of January of a 1200 on the turf. Do you think the winner's going to come out of this?
Look, I don't think so. I've sort of gone a bit of a different alley here to this sort of form line. I mean, Arabic Art's got to be given respect. I mean, no disrespect to the yard. I mean, they haven't had a winner for quite some time here in Dubai, so it is hard to, I guess, be tipping Arabic Art with much confidence. And there are other horses in this race who. In this first event that have coming out of different form lines from other tracks. I speak of runs from Abu Dhabi, and we've got horses as well that have done well at Jebel Ali as well coming into this event. So it is a bit of a melting pot of form lines this, and I mean,
I thought the step back up in trip would suit Arabic Art, but it is quite a step up.
Yeah, it is.
Do you think it'll come out of the No Retreat Folk Festival race?
Yeah, look, I mean, no, look, I thought Lucci Body held the key here with her 2 runners. I thought Thaya and also the Ice Phoenix were 2 that deserve a fair bit of respect here, and I didn't really have a firm opinion on anything in this race in particular, so I took a chance with a horse that's probably more suited heading into this, especially with a run under its belt now. The Ice Phoenix dropping back to a mile looks a much more suitable trip. I think he's a certain top 3 player, but I mean...
so just on that, I wrote in my selections, I wrote the Ice Phoenix, crossed it out, put Thaya, crossed it out.
Yeah, there you go.
And then went out. So the reason for the Ice Phoenix cross out, if you like, was I just worry that he's actually an all-weather horse. But I completely agree the drop back in trip, and I think he's fairly treated for horses that have, the team run pretty well, pretty consistently out here. And Thaya showed a bit last time, and again, I think the drop back to a mile is going to be a big plus, and maybe that run under his belt, he'll go pretty close. So I can definitely see it, but. Guillermo Arizcareta and Václav Janacek have had a win out here, a second. They've been running pretty consistently well. He was just a could-be-anything prospect, I thought. So my pin came down there, and then equally No Retreat and Folk Festival are pretty obvious.
Yeah.
No Retreat, I think, is probably the most talented horse in the race.
What did you make of his...
He's not straightforward.
What did you make of those runs at Redcar before he came? Because I think we certainly flagged him up. The market overseas certainly flagged him up as a winning prospect. I mean, I think he was needing that run last time out, and he was feeling it on the back end. But I think we'll see an improved run from him, especially on a bigger surface.
Yeah, I mean, he was the horse that James Doyle received criticism for a ride which he gave the horse and at the line. He is just not a straightforward horse. He hung his head to the left. That's ultimately why he was beaten there. I don't think he makes anybody's life easy. So I couldn't be confident, even though I think he's the most talented horse in the race.
I echo your sentiments there. I think hard to be tipping him. I think Arabic Art the same. It's hard. There's a few in here that you probably couldn't be diving into with any confidence. But yeah, look, it's the Ice Phoenix for me. Okay.
El Bosnia for me. There we are. So a couple of international prices going up in that opening race. Then we have the Azizi Wassel Pruebed Arabian race. It's a non-winner of 2, and you've got Majdi in here. You've got a couple for Eric Lamartinelle. Al Jabra, the mare. I'll come to her. She's my selection in the race. It's your second page. And I'm not sure who Pat's put up on this. I'm interested to see. We can have a look at Arkan Al Wathba. This was on the 17th of January, so like we just saw a bit of form with Arabic Art there. Arkan Al Wathba finishing 6th on this occasion. Might be a bit more straightforward, back down from handicap company.
Yeah, I think it will be. I mean, this is a much easier contest for him to be going out and winning. I mean, the 3 Kilo Claim is going to see him, you know, obviously in this race a little bit better and draws a lot more favourably here for this event coming into this. But look, again, it's a melting pot of form lines, this, not especially with this big field. A lot of these horses coming back in and quite a few coming back into easier contests as well. I mean, sometimes these non-winner of 2 races can shape up to be a little bit easier than some of the maidens when they do run into these horses a little bit earlier on in their career. You know, you'll find that they'll run into a rough one every now and then. I leant towards the Ibrahim Al Hadrami horses, Al Fati and RB Sakar, both coming out of listed company, dropping back here into this event. I know both of them have come from turf races across to the dirt here for tonight's contest. But look, Al Fati's got to deal with a slightly wide draw. I thought on paper was probably the better of the 2 last start. AB Sakar has got to be given some respect as well, but they just ran into Rasasi, who is a clear class above them. I think he's shaping up to sort of be the new Al Laith for Ahmed Al Mahebi, so that form line should stack up. And look, even though he's drawn a little wide, I'm taking a chance on Al Fati just from gate 14. Hopefully 1,600 metres will see him running and being able to find at least a nice enough position and not being caught 3 deep, but you'll have to take the chance there as well for him to do it. But hopefully those 2 are putting their best foot forward.
Okay, Al Jabra for me out of stall 4, well drawn to attack, and you know she's rated 92, so I thought this is a more suitable distance than last time. Might be a bit short, but not overly confident to be honest in that. But Al Jabra hopefully will run pretty well. Race number 3, there's going to be more confidence. The obvious one is going to be Symbol of Honour. We've got two pages here to have a look at, but Symbol of Honour is the obvious one based upon that form from Westacre last time. Has gone out of Frank the Fawn subsequently. Finally, we've got White Gate in there, who completes the lineup for Sylvester de Souza and Ahmed bin Armash. So, Symbol of Honour beating Dark Saffron War Socks, Oz Lebanon Jungle Drums in the Al Wassel Stakes. This is a standout bit of form, and with this 3-year-old, all being well, should go win.
Yeah, I mean, Westacre probably arguably showed the following start that he's a better horse over 1,000 metres, but you've got a horse that came out of this running a close second and has gone on over 5 to break the track record the following start. So it just continues to strengthen up that last start as a form line, not only for Symbol of Honour, who went on and won the race, but also a few that were catching the eye in behind. So look, I think he's the clear on topper for the night. Hard to see him getting beat here, and I thought that there was no other horse that is as confident of a winning chance on the card than Symbol of Honour here tonight. So he's a clear on top.
Do you think going forward to an Alcoz, this horse and Westacre will be 2 lively ones in that market that are going to line up, or do you think that 3-year-olds they might find it a little bit tougher?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because I mean, the Godolphin have had, as you see in their recent years, they've tried to target it with a nice young filly, and they've got that this year as well. So, I mean, Symbol of Honour, if he does join the field, I mean, he's probably another worthy contender for Charlie Appleby in the race. But look, I mean, both of them have got to be given some respect. What do you think? I mean, we've seen time and time again in recent Alquazes that if you go back and look at Dania and you go back and look at California Spangle, they're 1,400 metre horses that drop back to 1,200. They run a strong 7. So I mean
that would worry me.
That would worry me.
I think this would be fine for Symbol of Honour. But again, if something like a California Spangle comes over, a slightly different kettle of fish.
Yeah.
But obviously Westacre proved against the Elders last time. I think that these 3-year-olds are more than capable. Race number 4 is the Azizi Mina. It's for thoroughbreds on the dirt, 1,600 metres. Couple of pages to look at here. You've got a Galactic Star in there, Arabian Story. Interesting enough. Then we come to the second page off the back of Moonblade. Got On My Eyes on the way. Per Autumn Political Truth, Sahan Zoran. Actually, a lineup of 14. We can have a look at Galactic Star winning from On the Way, Casino Bay and Zora. Nice performance this, and I think the horse will back up again. Just was ready enough for this, and I think we'll take a step forward for it. And I think a similar run style will see this Son of Improbable go very close.
Yeah, he didn't have any need to win this race the way that he did, but look, to do it in the manner that he did first up and on debut was quite impressive. And I mean, how much of a launching platform has Jebel Ali been for horses from a fitness perspective? I mean, if they do handle Maidan's track on the dirt, which is obviously always the question, but I mean, these horses are trained by Bhupat Seema at this track, so then they are familiar to it in many ways. But I mean, Galactic Star, that should be a nice little launching pad for him fitness-wise to come into this and make his presence felt. I think
Trip will be fine, you think? Distance?
Yeah, I don't see the trip being any concern. I mean, 1,200 metres, hardly run 1,200 metre race at Jebel Ali plays almost like a 7-furlong race in itself. So I mean, a mile looks a nice one. He's by Improbable. He's bred to go the trip, so I'm hoping to see him do that. And I mean, nice dirt breeding. So I mean, let's hopefully see Galactic Star just take that next step.
Yeah, I think the fact that the horse is by Improbable will be absolutely fine, and probably Travers winner a place in the Classic as well. So I think the mile will be absolutely fine. Galactic Star for me as well. Race number 5 is the Lord Glitters Handicap. 350,000 dirham on offer here. Nice big field, 1,800 metres. We've got loads of horses that contested the race, won by First Conquest last time. Likes of Garland, Stormy Ocean on that first page. Uzo as well, last year's winner, Arabian Light. Second page has the likes of Silent Film, I thought ran pretty well on that occasion.
It's a bit of a shame he's not in the race, to be honest.
Sword, yeah, good spot. Yeah, it is a shame. I thought he ran. I knew that. You've read him out. You got a head start on me. I thought he'd go. And Silver Sword was another one. That's your last one in the Johuri. There are loads who I could make a case from coming out of this race. Where Arabian Light was 3rd, Garland was 4th, Silver Sword, Uzo, Lanakash, Silent Defence, Rusman Fall. But there were just loads of them who I could have put up. Certainly Garland, certainly Silver Sword. Uzo was unfortunate. But the more I watched it, the more I thought Arabian Light would go and win. Just with a clearer run would have gone close. I don't think would have beaten First Conquest, but take First Conquest out, I think he's the best handicap horse in the race.
Yeah, he sticks out, doesn't he, and draws very well. I think what we found with the Lord North Handicap last year and even the Lord Glitters Handicap, big fields, and as a result, I mean, there's a lot of put a line through it, didn't get an opportunity to run on. I mean, because you find that a lot of these horses do have a tendency to run into a fair bit of traffic with these nice big fields. I mean, Uzo, the splits came for him last time when he needed to. It was a great ride by Safi Osborne to weave through the inside. I mean, Silent Film, if he was going to take his place, was going to need the same run. I mean, Uzo's counterpart in Sean is also the same. They get back and they run on, and the worry is that, if you are a horse that gets back, you either have to hope the run appears or take your medicine and go 6 or 7 wide around a capacity field to try and mow them down. But I mean, Arabian Light's going to be close enough, doesn't have to lead, but can find a spot in behind the leading division from 3 and be in a nice spot to hopefully get a winning break on a few of those horses that, if they do take the looping run, are going to have to make up considerable lengths on a horse that's going to get a much more favourable trip. So Arabian Light, I'm in the corner of Arabian Light here as well.
Kalidas is interesting, who bumped into Thundering last time under an enterprising ride from Richard Mullen. Obviously, it's a massive drop back in distance. This is beautifully bred Frankalada Somidar. I guess we know how Callejas is going to approach this, likely under Mikhail Barcelona.
I mean, you'd say so, and I mean, you've always got to take. How often do we see Mikhail Barcelona win on a Godolphin second stringer? You know, in the second cap, he has done it at least a half a dozen times in the last 12 to 18 months across last season, and even a couple of times this season already. So always got to give him respect. He draws just as well. And yeah, as you said, although it's a sharp drop back in trip, he's got to be given a lot of respect as well. I think both of Charlie's horses in the race deserve enough respect here in the event.
Race number 6 then is 1,200 metres on the turf for thoroughbreds. It's Easy Riviera, 190,000 dirham on the line here. And a couple of pages here with plenty of runners. Good old Thunder of Niagara. I say good old, slightly tongue-in-cheek. Silky Wilkie's just not performed out here so far. It's been a shame, but hopefully better for connections here. Pen Portraits, worth a mention, I think, off the back of a good win a couple of starts ago. Didn't quite work out last time, and now switches to the turf. So let's have a look first of all. Top of bill finishing third from Bat1, Action Point and Silky Wilkie. I could have put up Top of bill quite easily. Didn't, looked elsewhere, but he's pretty solid.
Yeah, I got him on top. I mean, he showed signs of a horse that was probably, I guess, a little bit, on the earlier side of his campaign. I mean, he was a great winner here earlier on in the last season under Case Albacete with the claim on that day. I mean, he felt a lot more at home over 6 than what we saw over 7. Maybe he has performed over 5 furlongs in the past, but maybe as he does get a little bit older, that 1,200 is a bit more kind to him. And I mean, he drew wide last time out, and we saw him work across. I mean, it hasn't been as bad of a trip or for those horses who have drawn a little bit wide this season compared to last season. I mean, if you drew outside of sort of 8 or 9, barrier 8 or 9, it was almost curtains for you before the gates even opened.
But I think as well they know what. So last season was the first year it really paid to be far side. So the trouble is, particularly earlier season, the higher numbers were still exploring near side and it wasn't working out. And everyone knows now to just if you can go middle to far side, that's where you want to be.
Yeah. So I mean, look, I'd say that they will shift to the far side half. He'll be coming down the centre of the course, and yeah, I think he'll be giving a side at some point. Danny Tudhope with a couple of nice rides tonight as well. I'd expect him to maybe ride a winner or two.
I'm always nervous when I put up a Michael Costa horse and you haven't. But I've gone with Carl Barg.
I think he's a winner. Yeah,
he's like, and Michael Costa, he's taken out some handicaps with some horses you might not necessarily expect on the straight course as well. I think Ben Cohen he'll have the horse up there. He'll ride him for stamina to see it out. I think I don't think it will smuggle him into it. I think he'll put him on the line, and that's what you tend to want here. Yep. I wouldn't be surprised.
No, wouldn't be shocked at all as well. I mean, his run behind Vespasian here over this track and trip, albeit in a lower class of race, a slightly lower class of race, was good. So he's without winning, he's course proven.
Race number 7, 2,000 metres in the Burj Azizi for thoroughbreds on the dirt. New London's fascinating. Charlie Appy doesn't roll the dice on the dirt that much, but it hasn't worked out on the turf with him this year, so here he is. Interested to see how he goes. Obviously Mendelssohn Bay, Gold Soldier Go, some of the likelier sorts in here I thought, or horses we're used to seeing turning up. La Reche as well. Eliabri's been pretty consistent. Book Review, Violent Justice, who knows. Lion's Mane's got some good form from earlier on in the year. So let's start with Violent Justice beating Eliabri. First Constitution, Mendelssohn Bay never show weakness. Weird race in the end because you didn't expect Violent Justice to win even when we pick it up here.
I'm glad I saw him because he was almost at that point, especially with most dirt races, where as a commentator you'd put a line through him because it's just impossible margin to make up. But I mean, he found plenty and he worked up to the inside. Sam Hitchcock went inside runners and saved all the ground, and well, you've got to slightly feel for Local Dynasty because I think William Buick thought he had the race almost sewn up. I'm almost shocked that because he was obviously coming up the inside of him, that Buick almost didn't clock off on the horse because he came out of nowhere, did Violent Justice. But look, I wouldn't be shocked to see him go and do it again. I mean, it's a very similar sort of race. We know what we're going to expect with him. He's going to get back. The only thing that he doesn't have this time round, Tom, is the fact that he's in a much bigger field. Those gaps that he had last time out, they're not going to be appearing like they were. I mean, those races there, big field, dirt race. It's going to be messy. I think he's going to have horses falling in his lap as opposed to last time where there was horses that were fading away, but I mean there was so much room up the inside for him to go because there was only 7 in the race or 8 in the race. So, yeah.
Who are you with?
I've gone in the corner here. Look, the market overseas is all over Prink Rouge, the Russian horse here. 8 wins so far in its career from 11 starts, yet to miss the top 3 in the career, but I need to see him first on this track before I can go anywhere near him.
And we're saying Prink.
I'd say Prink Rouge. I'd say that's what I'm gonna go with, unless I get told otherwise. But yeah, look, I'm just going to go course-proven horses here. Mendelssohn Bay is a horse who has done it plenty of times before here. Yes, slightly less ground than this has been his best trip, but his form at Meydan in his previous seasons has shown that he does have a lull second up. He needs that sort of. He always has that poor run in between. He's good first up. He has a lull in his second up run, and he fires third up again. So, I mean, I think they opened him up like 13 or 14 to 1 overseas. I mean, they've completely disrespected a horse who I think has done very, very good. And I think he's, for people overseas, is an each-way prospect all day. He's a good horse. And I mean, I'd be interested to see if Tiger O'Shea if he did have the option there to jump aboard Mendelssohn Bay, would he jump off Prink Rouge and ride Mendelssohn Bay here in the event? I think he could be Bupat's best chance in the race, and I think he's been missed by the market overseas.
Yeah, my starting point was to let Prink Rouge go and run at the international price anyway,
yeah.
and look elsewhere. I wanted Go Soldier Go just to give me a really good, exciting run for my money down the outside and not get there.
Yeah, well, I'm sticking
I think will happen.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, it's one of those races. I think there'll be quite a few winning hopes here. It hopefully is a hotly contested finish, but I think a very open event, and it could go a number of ways.
Then the Vazirabad handicap closing off the card, and obviously named in honour of the great Vazirabad, this contest, who carried the colours of the late His Highness the Aga Khan. These are your field without horse 4, Ultima, who doesn't go in there. There's El Cordobes, we'll come back to that horse very shortly. And then your final lot, including Thundering, who we'll see in action as well soon enough, a winner for Guillermo Riscareta last month. Sylvester de Souza taking the ride. So, let's start with El Cordobes, finishing second, Endless Victory third, Intricacy back in 13th. This was El Cordobes' run 35 days ago, and the race won by Asasi. It's a good bit of form as well. And El Cordobes was not the choice of William Buick on this night. But I guess I'm not surprised that he's teaming up with it here and getting off Royal Power.
Yeah, I thought it's just the superior form line that steps up. I mean, Asasi has a few of them have come through that race as well. We've seen that form line hold up with quite a few here. So I think best of the rest behind Asasi. That was enough for me to tip El Cordobes on top. Asasi's been a great horse, and he's continued to hold. Continue to hold his strength in form through following starts. So, yeah, it's El Cordobes for me. I didn't have too much of an opinion on the race. I stuck with him.
I don't think Royal Power saw it out last time.
Yeah, he was a bit plain there, especially the sort of, maybe from the last 150, I'd say it was probably not ideal.
But for all, that's a really good bit of form. The race won by Kafaf. Thundering, can he do it again, do you think?
Look, I mean, I don't think he's going to, I don't think he's not coming into a race here where he's running against a few horses that were sort of, I guess, at the start of their campaigns working towards bigger prospects at the end. I mean, it was a 70 to 90. I mean, he won it well, and surely he'll improve off that. But I think it's a different quality of field that he faces here tonight. And I'd say he'll be up against it. But he's going to get all favours from the draw here to find a nice spot.
Yeah. And maybe they'll go hard again. We've seen a couple of turf races more so, I think, the normal really unfold on the turf and suit a closer. So maybe we'll get that again here. I feel like it's been riding like that more so this year than in previous years.
What did you make of the 2 runs of Intricacy? I mean, he was a horse that we saw flashing and giving a sight this time in this part of the season last year. I'm interested to see if he's just having a bit of a lull prep, or if he just hasn't really found his best form here. And I don't know if we're going to see that.
I was impressed with him last year. That race where he beat Eye on the Prize. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really have an opinion on last time. He's very disappointing. Yeah. I'm not sure 2400 is his trip.
Yeah,
he's definitely been a bit below par based on what he showed at the back end of last year. Definitely. All right, your recap, please, Pat. Your 8 selections.
Yeah, to look as Tom echoed earlier on, it's a tough night, but hopefully we can bang a few in. The Ice Phoenix in the first, Al Fati in the Purebred Arabians race will need some luck from that draw though. Symbol of Honour's the Nap. Galactic Star should go on with it after that nice debut win at Jebel Ali. Arabian Light, best handicapped horse in the feature tonight. Topper Bill hopefully can run a good race. Mendelssohn Bay, I think he's been missed there in that race. He's proven, and hopefully we see him win third up once again. And Al Cordoba's in the last.
And I agree with the 3 Godolphin runners. He's got the sort of Godolphin core in there with Symbol of Honour, Arabian Light, El Cordobes, kicking off with El Bosnia, Al Gabrar in the Arabian race. Galactic Star, I agree with Pat. Carl Barr, Go Soldier Go, complete the lineup. Or my 8. So there we are. I think we're in for it's a bit milder tonight as well. It's quite nice when the sun drops in, and ultimately, look, as we've seen, we've got quality in there, but it's super competitive tonight.
It is. It certainly is. It's going to be hopefully a good night of racing, though. We're excited to get, I guess, these horses another opportunity to sort of hopefully pick up some prize money. As we said, it's going to get very strong over the next few weeks with a lot of these international horses continuing to arrive and coming out. But yeah, look, hopefully great racing, a couple of exciting finishes, and hopefully we've tipped a few winners. And yeah, well, hopefully going off our tips, Charlie Appleby's in for a few tonight as well.
Yeah, well, it's been the way, hasn't it? And yeah, fingers crossed between us. We find a few for you. Good luck, whoever you are selecting this evening. If you were here last week, another excellent night of racing. Here are some highlights now.